I mean, what a great learning.
Kid,
and what are some of the biggest lessons you learned going through that process? Like scaling teams, systems, processes, creativity, product design. Like what really stood out for you to set you up for your future ventures?
I think what really stood out for me was like the focus that I had that started then, or maybe even before then, but the focus that I had, you know, as far as, I always knew that things change. I always knew that this is, you know, there's things that are everlasting trends, and then there's things that you need for the rest of your life. There's certain skills, for example, that are everlasting trends, and there's certain skills you need for the rest of your life. And it really helped me like control my time management skills. It really honed in on my scaling skills as far as, you know, the time I allocated to certain tasks, the time I allocated to certain people, the time I allocated to certain relationships. You know what I'm saying? Right? And because that was the first big dive. And I think when you're operating at a particular level, whether that be 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures, it's not even about the figures, but anytime, because it takes just as long as of a time to create a small idea that it does a big idea. It takes a longer amount of time to scale it, but usually to create it, it's still the same amount of effort if it's a good idea, even on the low end, you know what I mean? And that's kind of speaking to Josh Snow. You know, when I talked to Josh when we were at that event, and I'm like, you know, Snow teeth whitening lasted because of the high price point. And he was like, yeah, but who picked the high price point? I'm playing bet. And he knew that, you know.
He's a smart guy.
No, very smart guy.
Yeah, we had him on the show. Great episode. If you haven't listened to Josh's episode, definitely check that out.
Very smart guy.
He's
very smart guy.
And his product is well designed and it works really well. His marketing's on point. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of right moves for that. And so now here you are. You're now, this business has ran its course. Where do you go from here?
I mean, where do you go from here? It's like, okay, we were a trend business. You know, I sold out of my portion of it. And after that, it was like, okay, we're a trend business. But we've been inclining with hip hop. Where's hip hop going from here? Sean Carter said, I don't wear jerseys. I'm 30 plus. Give me a fresh pair of kicks and some button ups. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, bet. Sean's going the custom route. Everything was like S dot, you know, like Sean, Jay-Z shit. So then everybody started wearing that. And we just started designing these, or not we, I guess I did. But yeah, so we started designing these shirts and these custom things that these rappers wanted. And then people started buying them.